everybody and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video I'm going to be doing a first impressions on the new L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. Now I got mine in the shade 24, which is the shade Golden Beige, because I wanted this to be a foundation that I wear with the tan because it is quite a full coverage, and when I want like a full coverage I'm going to want to look tan at the same time. So basically what I'm going to be doing for you guys today is testing out the foundation and what I personally think of it, and I'm also going to be checking in throughout the day to see how long it's lasting for. I'm also going to be trying out the L'Oreal Infallible sponge. Now as you can see I've already used it, but this is a sponge and I think it's retailed at £5.99. The foundation is retailed at £9.99, although at the moment in Superdrug I think it's on offer for £7.99, and if you have a beauty card you actually can get it for £6.99. So at the moment it's a really good bargain. The sponge is £5.99 and I'll explain later on in the video how I got on with both of these products, but yeah, let's just get straight on into the video. So I think the price for the foundation at £9.99 is pretty good. Obviously it's on offer at the moment, which is even better, but it's supposed to have a high coverage and a matte finish. So personally for me, having oily skin, a matte finish is perfect, so I'm really excited to see how it actually looks on the skin, but I'm also intrigued to see if it is like a high coverage or not, because obviously some foundations claim to be high coverage and they just aren't. And it'd be also interesting to see later on in the video whether it has kind of like a natural finish to it, so whether it looks cakey or not on the skin. But yeah, let's just get straight on into applying this foundation and testing out this little bad boy as well. I'm going to start out by applying the Infallible primer. I just feel like because this is part of the Infallible range, it will probably be the primer that will work best with the foundation. So I also know this primer is a really good primer and does kind of help to prolong your makeup wear. I would try it without a primer. Personally, I do tend to wear this on an everyday basis and it's not too expensive either, so I think it will work really well. I also have obviously like moisturised and stuff, so my skin is all kind of prepped, ready for foundation. Really does kind of help to just smooth out your skin, which is what I really love about it. So I've just dampened the sponge and as you can see it has grown a lot in size. I did rinse underwater and wring it out quite a few times to get it to this size. Just because it's absorbed quite a lot of water, I really feel like it might absorb quite a lot of foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the foundation with just this flat top foundation brush and just kind of paste it on my skin, and then I'm going to go over and blend it with the sponge. So let's go ahead and apply the foundation. So I have no idea obviously how much I'm going to need. When it comes out the tube it's really thick, like it's almost like a mousse, which I'm not really used to. I'm going to apply a little bit for now and blend it out and see how we go, because obviously I have no idea how much I need to use. I'm just going to try and kind of spread it over the face with this foundation brush. I think it should be an okay colour match. I'm just going to go over with the sponge and try and like bounce this into my skin. So the sponge from First Impressions is really hard, like the actual sponge. It's quite kind of like you really have to dab it into your skin because it is quite hard, not like the Real Techniques one. It's a lot harder than that one, and it is soaking up quite a bit of product as well, which is what I was worried it was going to do. God, this is so difficult to blend with because it's so hard. This end here, like the squidgy end, is actually a lot softer, so maybe I should try and use that. Shade maybe a little too dark just because my fake tan has kind of rubbed off. To be totally honest with you, I don't feel like this has gone a great job at blending in the foundation. Like it's pushed it into my skin but it hasn't like spread it out anymore. I feel like if you definitely did just use this to blend you would have quite a patchy look, because it just hasn't smoothed it across the face very well, whereas like the Real Techniques one, because it's so soft you really can bounce it into your skin and like spread it across your face, whereas this you can't. And it has absorbed a bit of product, not a lot though to be fair, but I just really don't like how hard it is. Like it's really hard. But the foundation overall looks really nice. It's supposed to be like a full coverage foundation. I would definitely not say this is full coverage. For me, this is like a light to medium coverage. I don't know whether I just haven't applied enough product, but I know it's applied all over my face because my face has obviously changed colour. So I'm not really sure whether I've just not applied enough product. I will say it does look really, really nice and matte. Like, it is a really nice finish. It has got a little bit of shine to it, which is actually a bit nice because when it's so matte it can look a bit flat on the face. But it literally looks like my skin. Like, you can hardly tell I have foundation on. I might try and go in with another layer in certain areas and see if it is buildable, because at the moment I would definitely say this isn't a full coverage for me. This is like a medium coverage. So yeah, let's try and build this up a bit more. I'm going to try and blend it in with purely just the sponge and not with the brush, and see if it makes a difference. I'm going to go over my eyes as well. It has definitely brought it up to like a medium coverage. I'd say you could maybe build this up to a full coverage, but personally I feel like it might start to get a bit cakey if I'd done another layer. Even though I've done 2 layers, it does still look pretty natural on the skin. Obviously it doesn't look quite so natural as it did before, but I really just don't like that sponge. Like, it's gone a bit patchy here, and I purely think that's down to the sponge. Like, I really do not like the sponge. It's really difficult to blend. Like, it's so hard that you can't like bounce it into the skin like a normal sponge, and it doesn't like spread product very well. I don't know, I'm not really keen on this sponge. It might work maybe better for concealer, but so far I'm not actually too impressed with the sponge. I'm going to grab my Real Techniques complexion sponge and go over the face just to kind of neaten it up a bit, because I feel like it is looking a tiny bit patchy. And I do realise this is the wrong colour for my skin at the moment. Please do not write in the comments that it's the wrong shade. I know it is, I just haven't got a fresh layer of fake tan on. If I did, it would be the right shades. Personally, I think it now looks a lot better now that I've blended it with that sponge. You'll see here, like, look how squidgy that is, and look how squidgy that is. Like, I can't like explain it. Like, this is just a lot more dense. Do you see what I mean? Like, I just have to push a lot harder to like really dab it into my skin. I really do feel like that's helped to blend it in a lot better than the other sponge did. Personally, I don't think the sponge works too well. It's quite hard, so it makes it quite difficult to blend. It doesn't like spread it across your face very evenly either. I feel like maybe for concealer it might work better. So far I'm not too impressed with the sponge, but the foundation is looking absolutely lovely. You can definitely tell it's a medium coverage, but it does look really, really natural on the skin. I feel as though if this did match my skin colour, you would not be able to tell that I have foundation on. Like, it looks so natural. I really do like the finish. It's not tacky at all or anything like that. It's got a little bit of shine, just a little bit of natural shine, but overall it is pretty matte. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup now, and I'm also going to do a quick close-up so you guys can see what the foundation looks like closer up. But so far I'm so impressed with this foundation. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and I feel like if you've got oily skin like me, then this could be a really good foundation for you. Okay, so I've just finished doing my makeup. I will have a tutorial up on this look very, very soon. But the foundation looks so, so nice. It has not sunk into any of the lines on my face at all. It does actually have a quite... You can definitely tell I've got makeup on. Obviously, you can tell I got makeup on, but like, you can kind of tell I've got a foundation on. But you can't necessarily see it on the skin. It doesn't look cakey, not in the slightest. It hasn't like caked up around my nose area like it does sometimes. Overall, I absolutely love how it's looking at the moment. It looks really, really natural, and it's got a really nice kind of matte finish. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how it lasts throughout the day. I will be checking in probably a couple of times a few hours later to see how it's kind of wearing and see the longevity of the foundation. But so far, I think it looks so nice. Like, I'm really impressed with this. Like, even though it's, I would say now, full coverage, it doesn't look cakey at all on the skin, which is so, so hard to find with drugstore foundations. So yeah, I'll check in a few hours and see how it's lasting, but so far I'm absolutely loving this foundation, and yeah, really, really happy with it so far. But it's about 8 hours later now, which is why it looks a lot darker than it did earlier. But the foundation has not gone patchy at all on my face. It's all very intact. I am looking pretty shiny. With most foundations, to be honest, I do get quite shiny. This is quite a lot of shine for me for a foundation. Ones like the Maybelline Fit Me don't quite go as shiny as this, so I do definitely feel like it's not so good at preventing like oil, and especially because it's a matte foundation, I kind of expected it to prevent that more than it actually has. But apart from the fact that I'm looking quite shiny, I feel like the foundation's held up really well. I felt like if I put a blotting paper over my face and kind of dabbed off the excess oil, then I would be able to carry on wearing this for maybe twice the amount of time. It's just the shininess that's really kind of putting me off right now, but I feel like that can easily be solved with a bit of blotting paper and a bit of powder. So I would definitely recommend this foundation. I feel like for dry skin it may work better because obviously you won't end up looking this shiny, but you do have the longevity of the foundation. It literally looks exactly the same that it did this morning, apart from the fact that it's a bit shiny. So I definitely would recommend this foundation. If you're more oily than me, maybe not, because obviously this is quite a lot of shine, but I definitely feel like foundations like this for like a night out could work really well, because you don't typically have them on for that long, but they are kind of full coverage, but they feel really lightweight. So I would definitely recommend this foundation. I just feel like you would need to blot it halfway through the day if you have a similar skin type to me. So yeah, it's not typically a foundation I would wear on a day-to-day basis just because it is quite full coverage, but I mean, on a night out I feel like it could work really well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Give it a big thumbs up if you did, it really would mean the world, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.